Soccer Rudo is having a bit of an identity crisis lately. I just haven't been very Rudo lately. But hey, it's hard to hate on things like the CPL kits because they were all just so good. Really, I've been in love with all things CPL right from the first video. We are many, we are one. Obviously, there's been a league-wide approach to marketing and promotions, which is a good thing. It's been sending a consistent brand and feel for the league and all member clubs. There's plenty of marketing to be done for Season 1. Smaller stadiums and smaller markets with less competition for your entertainment dollar, but they might sell out regardless of promotion efforts. But others may need more of a push to stand out from the pack and draw huge crowds. And others in massive stadiums will feel empty without a big crowd each week. Being a brand new league and a soccer league in North America, no doubt CPL will need some inventive or outside-the-box marketing and promotion strategies for this season. Valor already have a mascot, which are more closely associated with baseball, basketball, hockey, or football. I, for one, am all for anything that brings people to the match. People that may not be die-hard soccer fans, but who may become big supporters if they go and enjoy the spectacle. I want to see silly games and shoot-to-win contests at halftime of CPL matches. Again, it's all about creating a spectacle that goes beyond just the match. And what fan of any sport doesn't love free giveaways? But for every brilliant marketing strategy and special event designed to pack the stands, there's been a dud that at best didn't resonate with the fans and at worst turned into a complete disaster. We all know about 10-cent beer night for the Cleveland Indians and disco demolition night for the Chicago White Sox in baseball. Both resulted in riots and games being forfeited. But there's a few more ideas the CPL game day marketing teams should avoid in 2019. Number 1. Keep your swag game on point. I 100% support going a little outside the box for promos, but there is a limit to that. Any fan loves free stuff, and giving people things with the club logo on it is great for brand recognition, but Cardiff City or Tottenham Hotspur lingerie? Everton shower gel? Do I want to smell like a football team? Alright, maybe Pacific FC. Fulham's versatile plastic pot? Yes, they actually wrote versatile on the team website. Let's just stick to t-shirts, shall we? Number 2, check your roster. Knowing who's on the team seems like a no-brainer, but teams often order 10,000 custom bobbleheads only to trade the player just a few days before they're supposed to give them out as part of the promo. Tim Thomas with the Florida Panthers in the NHL, the Cleveland Indians in baseball trading Victor Martinez to the Boston Red Sox, then holding 2 giveaways featuring Martinez merch in the week after the deal, one for a bobblehead, the other for a chest protector backpack. And my personal favorite was James Livingston in the American Hockey League. He scored 2 goals on his own custom bobblehead night with the Worcester Sharks in the AHL. Unfortunately, just before that night, he had been traded to the Manchester Monarchs and was playing for the Visitors on the night he did it. Side note, remember that fans will throw just about anything onto the field. In 2011, Sporting KC held Omar Bravo bobblehead night, and Omar was out of the lineup due to suspension. Hey, at least he wasn't traded, right? Well, at least one fan decided to give the bobblehead back, throwing it onto the field. It struck the home team's keeper, Jimmy Nielsen, right in the face, and actually caused some pretty nasty cuts around the eye. Naturally, football fans across the world have tossed much weirder things onto the pitch. There's the Aston Villa fan who tossed a cabbage at manager Steve Bruce last October, Chelsea fans throwing celery, Italian Inter Milan fans who stole a Vespa from an opposing supporter, somehow smuggled it into the San Siro. How exactly did that happen? And then threw the thing from one tier down to a lower tier of the seats that was luckily unoccupied. And of course, my personal favorite in this category was at the last World Cup when some Swiss fans threw a full wheel of cheese onto the pitch. That's a great way to celebrate it, on brand for Switzerland, but have you ever actually held a full wheel of cheese? The Vespa might have done less damage. Number 3, don't leave it to chance. Keeping it Canadian with this entry into the Big Book of Don't, if you're going to do a contest, don't take the result out of the contestant's hands. For years, the Canadian Football League has offered Safeway's $1 Million touchdown to win. If 2 kickoffs are returned for touchdowns in the same game, a person registered for the contest can win $1 million. Well, it happened in 2017 when a Winnipeg woman named Karen won it, and then didn't win it because the referee overturned the second touchdown on a penalty flag. On one hand, there were not 2 kickoffs returned for touchdowns in that game because of the penalty, but there were totally 2 kickoffs returned for touchdowns in the same game, and Karen lost her grand prize because of the referee. When a fan attempts a half-court shot in basketball or something for a prize, whether they make it or not is in their own hands. It's tough, but whether or not they win it is up to the contestant. For this woman, she ticked all the boxes, and then the referee took it away. And the league ended up facing a big public backlash over it. Karen ended up getting a trip to the Grey Cup, Blue Bombers season tickets, and a bunch of other prizes to make up for it, but not $1 million. If the CPL wants to run some contests in 2019, make sure it's not one where the referee can determine the result. And number 4, keep it classy. And finally, we head back to MLS for this one. Singles night is nothing new to the sports world. Single fans are encouraged to come to the ballpark or stadium and interact with other singles, sometimes even changing seats in breaks and play. It's a form of speed dating at the event. Well, a few MLS teams have turned up the dial on this one in recent years. In 2014, the Vancouver Whitecaps hosted Tinder Night at BC Place in a game against the now defunct Chivas USA. DC United took it up another level in 2015 for Swipe Right Night. In an official partnership with Tinder, the fans could visit the Tinder district before the game, and that had a live band, games, and an open bar. Plus, anyone who actually swiped right during the game was entered to win a behind-the-scenes experience at a DC United training session. And in April of 2018, Tinder signed a deal with Manchester City, and that perfect match also includes NYCFC of MLS, although to date, I think they've only used the Tinder app to give away some tickets. Now, there's nothing wrong with allowing sports fans to meet one another. Again, singles night is not a new concept, and I know people have met on Tinder and formed long-lasting relationships, but what do you think of when I say Tinder? Yeah. It's a different idea, not exactly family-friendly. So those are my points to the CPL marketing team for 2019. I am the Socce Rudo, and until next time, I wish you and your clubs many goals and good lucha things. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to have a Cavalry FC chocolate bar. Alberta beef flavor.